Russian leader Vladimir Putin is warning NATO that deploying troops to Ukraine could cross what he calls a red line. And the warning comes as Russia is building up its military presence at the border between the two countries. Ian Lee is following this story, as well as other international headlines for us. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Yeah, Russia has always seen Ukraine as in their sphere of influence. The Kremlin's biggest fear is being boxed in by the NATO alliance, so it's not afraid to use force to reinforce its claim over Ukraine. Just look at the takeover of Crimea and Russia's support for separatists in the eastern part of the country. And now Vladimir Putin is warning NATO not to cross one of its red lines when it comes to Ukraine. And that would be involve deploying Western troops or advanced missile systems on Ukrainian soil. And while NATO hasn't taken any steps to do so, Putin said Russia would respond, including the use of hypersonic missiles, which allegedly can fly 9 times the speed of sound and are near impossible to intercept. The bluster from the Kremlin comes as there are growing fears Russia might try to invade Ukraine. Currently, Moscow has tens of thousands of troops along the border. Mind you, some analysts believe this could all be a diversion from Putin's low approval ratings. Next, we are in Lesotho, where the former prime minister has been charged with the murder of his wife in 2017. Authorities charge Thomas Tabane's current wife with the same crime last year. The couple are accused of hiring hitmen to carry out the killings, which took place just before before he was sworn in as prime minister. The 82-year-old later stepped down after being named a suspect in the case. The couple denies all the allegations. We're moving on to Honduras, where history was made. The country elected its first female president. Xiomara Castro's victory brings an end to more than a decade of the rule from the right-wing National Party. She's got a tall order ahead of her. Castro has promised to pull the country out of, quote, the abyss of a narco dictatorship and corruption. The former president has been accused of having ties to drug trafficking. Honduras is also dealing with out-of-control violence and widespread poverty. But the country is off to a good start, with the National Party conceding defeat, which will help avoid any social unrest. Finally, we have an amazing story about an incredible woman. Josephine Baker wore many hats, from dancer and singer to member of the French resistance against the Nazis and civil rights activist. She'll now become the first black woman to enter France's Pantheon mausoleum, which is the final resting place for the country's outstanding historical figures like writer Victor Hugo and scientist Marie Curie. French President Emmanuel Macron paid tribute to her fight for liberty for all. He also said that while she was born in America, she was as French as anyone. Anne-Marie, Baker had left the U.S. in 1925 to escape racial segregation. During World War II, she spied for France and sent information about Italian leader Benito Mussolini to London on music sheets with invisible ink. She also adopted 12 children from around the world and raised them at her chateau. Sadly, though, she died in 1975 at the age of just 68 from a brain hemorrhage. But one of the things I love most about this story is that when the honor was announced for Josephine Baker, no one criticized the decision, which is kind of rare in France. Usually someone is against something, but it had the support across the political spectrum.
Yeah, she was perhaps amongst some of the one of the most unique women I think that we've ever had the pleasure to learn about. She called her family the Rainbow Tribe. She was so committed to racial harmony. Ian, thank you very much.